Hi, I'm Sam, your resident fantasy reader.
And I'm Morgan, your romance reader, and we welcome you to Just One More Page,
where it's never just one more page.
Hello. Hey, I'm in person. I see Sam's face.
Oh my god.
I'm not like 3 or 4 hours away from you. Sam, do you want to explain why I'm suddenly next to you instead of sitting 3 or 4 hours away?
Yeah, apparently there was a baby shower I didn't know about.
Surprise! Her husband decided to throw her a surprise baby shower. And I felt very bad, Sam. And you know I felt bad because of the fact that I had to lie to you because you had a fake baby shower. It was a bogus baby shower. And I had to lie because couldn't go to that one. I had to go obviously to this one. So I was like, hey, Sam, I can't go to your baby shower. And I felt bad because I know you. You cried probably.
I did cry.
I came and we hung out. We went to the bookstore yesterday and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then we had a surprise baby shower.
Yeah.
And it was fun.
It was fun. It was a lot better than I was expecting it to be. So,
do you want to tell everyone what kind of theme it was?
So we're just doing like simple woodland creatures. Everyone thought I was going to do Harry Potter because I'm obsessed. But I just kind of went with like cute woodland themed creatures because, you know, they're adorable and why not? I mean, there's plenty of Harry Potter stuff out there, but like I feel like you're paying for the logo when it comes to Harry Potter stuff versus just like a generic like cute theme. And there's a lot more options and you can kind of go in a lot more directions with it. Because we got like dinosaurs and bears and all sorts of stuff. And it was adorable. And I mean, he's going to grow out most of it anyway. So
exactly. But besides that, Sam, how was your week?
Long week. Glad it's over. Glad it's finally Sunday and the podcast is going up on time. Holy shit.
No, it will be. Listen, it is currently, what time is it? 8:00 at night. And we're both like, this is going to go up late tomorrow because I have to travel back home and it's going to go up late. But it's fine. You know what? We are still going to post it, but it's just going to be a little bit late. But while talking about Clayton, would you like your Clayton update of the week?
What's Clayton's update of the week?
How big do you think he is?
Well over 4 pounds.
Well, like, what kind of fruit? I actually think, is this a fruit? I think this is a vegetable. I think this is a vegetable.
I think mine said like something like an artichoke or something. I don't remember.
No, not an artichoke.
What?
A stalk of celery.
Okay, that's weird.
Which that
seems long.
That's a little bit too long, I feel like.
That seems very long.
It is. And then your 80s and 90s is nostalgia.
Oh,
is Polly Pocket. I love Polly Pocket. Did you have a Polly Pocket?
I had a Polly Pocket.
I love Polly Pocket. I think like there was a girl in our class who had like them all, and I was so jealous because I think I only had like one. It wasn't even like a good one. I was like, I want all of them. And then lastly but not least, Clayton is as big as a box of a dozen donuts. I don't know how that's possible.
I feel like those are like two.
Okay, so you're probably wondering why I'm rudely cutting off this audio, but let me explain. So me and Sam recorded this episode last night, and it was so much fun because I was able to see my best friend again, and we're able to like sit next to each other and talk. And we were going to talk about this book called If I See You Tomorrow by Robbie Couch, but unfortunately the audio stopped recording after 4 minutes, and we both did not realize what was happening until right now when I'm editing the episode pretty late, which I do apologize for, but unfortunately I had a long car trip and I got a little car sick, so when I got home I took a nap and then I woke up pretty late. But when I was editing the episode, I realized that the audio cut off and it didn't record. And unfortunately, Sam doesn't have time this week to record this episode again. So it's just going to be me, bestie. It's just going to be me talking about the book a little bit. And I'm a little bit nervous and all over the place. So I do apologize. But I'm going to try to quickly just tell you the book that we're supposed to talk about and give you a quick review of it. And then next week, we'll be back to our normal episode and hopefully our audio won't cut off again, so I do apologize. So today we were going to be discussing If I See You Tomorrow by Robbie Couch, who also wrote other books such as Sky Blue and Blain for the Win. We're continuing our time trope by reading this book as it does have to do with a time loop. This book follows Clark, who is reliving the same Monday over and over again, which, no thank you. I would absolutely hate that. But, anyways, Clark is on day 310 when a boy named Beau interrupts his math class, which is something completely different that never happens in any of the other timelines. And this causes Clark to follow Beau outside, and they run errands together, going to like a river, going to a cafe, visiting his friends, and slowly by slowly, Clark starts to fall in love with Beau. But how can a love story happen in the time loop? I guess you'll have to read the book to find out. Anyways, this was a really cute young adult LGBTQ romance novel that I absolutely loved. I think Sam rated it 4 stars, while I rated it 4.5 stars. And I know what you're thinking, a time loop can be quite boring because it's reliving the same day over and over again. But to be quite honest, it was a fun book to read and it didn't really feel boring and it didn't really feel like, oh, I'm reliving the same conversations over and over and over again, which to be quite honest, that does happen a lot in the book. But it was quite fun and I really did enjoy it. I do want to go into like a spoiler section so I can talk about a couple of things that happened in the book that would be spoiling, obviously, if you have not read the book. So if you like to read the book and you haven't, so please go do so and then come back and hear me just quickly talk about it. If you don't care, then just, I guess, stay on and listen to me ramble about this book. So the first thing I really want to talk about is Beau and Clark's relationship, because that was a little bit obsessive and a little bit of chaoticness. So the whole concept of them being stuck together is because they were supposed to meet at a certain time, but something happened and they didn't meet up. And because of that, fate decided to stick both of them back in time because Beau is also stuck back in time also. After Clark and Beau spend the time together and they both realize they're both stuck in the past, you would think that they would work together to figure out why they're stuck in the past and try to figure out how to get out. But instead, Beau is like legitly super emo and doesn't even want to like be by Clark because he thinks it will make things more difficult. Instead, Clark is chasing Beau across the city, stalking the places he goes to and trying to find him to the point where it's a little bit obsessively because he like goes to every place that they went to and he just sits there and waits for Beau, and Beau's like, hey, I don't want to be with you because I think how I'm going to get out of this time loop is fixing things with my boyfriend, which, by the way, his relationship with his boyfriend is a big red flag because his boyfriend, Tom, who you find out late in the book, is actually a classmate of Clark, is with Beau. But Tom is deep, like deep in the closet. We're at the point where he lies to everyone and he calls Beau Brittany and he lies saying that he has a girlfriend because he is unfortunately unable to come out. And I'm always under this opinion, if it's not safe to come out and you're not ready to come out, then don't come out. But the way that he treated Beau was a big red flag because he didn't want anyone to know that they were together and he was trying to hide Beau and like basically just like push his personality down, which, by the way, don't ever let anyone change you or make you feel like you shouldn't be who you are because that's another red flag. I think this book also talks a lot about being lonely. Miss Hazel, which is Clark's therapist, who we actually get introduced to in the beginning of the podcast, gives Clark a assignment of things that he can do to beat loneliness. And these 4 steps kind of carry throughout the whole book. So the first step that she gave him was make a new friend, which was Beau, which I can't agree to disagree with because I kind of view Beau as more like, I don't know, a love interest. And also Beau, to be quite honest with you, wasn't really in the book for majority of it. He was only in it for like, I mean, he was in it, but he wasn't like in it like some of the other characters, which was honestly quite upsetting to me. But the second one was help someone who could use it, which was Otto. Now, Otto was actually one of my favorite characters. He was the owner of this bakery called Ben's Everything Blue Bakery, which was such a kind of fun idea because everything in it is, well, blue. They even make a red velvet brownie that was blue, which I definitely would love to try because that sounds delicious. Otto, in the beginning of the book, is very, very happy. He knows everyone's name that comes in. He's very personable, but you eventually find out that his son died named Ben, and that's the reason why he has a bakery called Ben's Everything Blue Bakery, because Ben's favorite color was blue and he used to make these baked goods and he would bring them into the hospital and they kind of got really popular from there. But unfortunately, Ben died, and he died at the same hospital that Beau's father died at, and that's how Beau and Otto actually met and became really, really close, and they're kind of like father and son now. But you find out later in the book that that was the day that Ben's birthday was, and Otto, even though he's really happy throughout the whole book, he's also very, very sad and putting up a front. And Clark's able to be there for him and be a friend to him and kind of like help him out. Now, the next step was be vulnerable, which was D. Now, D is a friend that Beau made the night before at a concert because D tried confessing her love to her friend and it ended horribly, like so embarrassing because she wanted them to change a name in a song and she was going to be like, I like you. And her friend never showed up and it was just super awkward. So she became friends with Beau that night. But anyways, Clark's able to meet up with Dee and be vulnerable with her and tell her the reason why he's in therapy because his parents are getting a divorce and his best friend moved. And Dee is able to open up about what happened last night, which makes him realize that the person that she's in love with is Emery, also someone that he sees every day who works at a movie theater who also likes her. Now, number 4 is do things that scare you, which was Emery. Now, Emery works in a movie theater, and every single time he goes into the movie theater, he sees Emery's like studying paperwork, and you come to find out that Emery is trying to be an actor, even though he's a horrible actor. But Clark is able to go through lines with Emery and study with him and do stuff that scares him, which is like talking to a stranger. And I also found it really, really quite interesting that everything was like very, very connected through this book. Although I was really quite frustrated with the fact that Clark was more focused on Beau's friends and took over where Beau would hang out with, which left Beau being depressed and not being able to hang out with like his friends because of the fact that Clark was there. Now for the ending, I really didn't quite like it because I don't know, I wanted something more than what we got. So we had Clark and Beau meet up together at this like honeycomb, which is this like statue or art thing. And they meet up there and of course they kiss and they hug. And then the last thing in the book is that the time passes where they wake up, usually stuck in the time loop again, and they're out of the time loop. But we don't get like an epilogue of how Clark is with his parents because like he works things out with his mom or with his friend who moved across the country, nor do we get to see him being with Otto and being like, you know, a friend to Otto or Dee or like Emery. We don't see any of that. It's just kind of like, yep, you're out of the time loop there, that's it. And it's quite sad because I wanted a little bit more than that we didn't get. But it was still a really, really cute book, and I definitely think that if you like time loops, definitely check it out. If you like anything romantic, maybe not because there's not a lot of romance in it, but I definitely do recommend it. It was a cute book. Now next week, hopefully my and Sam's audio will work. If not, I do apologize once again. So next week we're going to be reading a book by Emily Henry called The Happy Place. Now we actually read a book from Emily Henry before, which is called People We Meet on Vacation, which was on episode 22, which is kind of crazy to think about the fact that we're already on episode, I want to say this is like episode 60 or maybe 70 something, which is crazy to think about. Go check out that episode if you'd like to know a review of People We Meet on Vacation. But next week we're going to be reading Happy Place by Emily Henry. Now this book follows Harriet and Wynne, who have been the perfect couple since college, although now that could be further from the truth. 6 months ago they broke up and they haven't told any of their friends yet. But when a cottage in Maine where they spend most of their summers are going to be put up for sale, they decide to spend one last summer there. And because they don't want to hurt their friends, Harriet and Wynne have to pretend that they are still together and they haven't broken up. After all, how hard can it be to fake it for 1 week in front of everyone that knows you best? So I definitely think this is going to be a really, really cute romance story, and I'm excited. So anyways, you guys, if you'd like to support our podcast, I know this episode was quite weird, so maybe you don't, but please do. Then please feel free to rate us on Spotify, as it does help us boost out our podcast and it helps us get in other people's like recommendations. Also, feel free to follow us on Spotify, Apple, Audible, and also subscribe to us on our YouTube channel because we do have one of those, even though we don't really post a ton. Also, follow our other socials. So we have a Instagram, which is called Just One More Page Official, where Sam posts a ton of cool photos and like updates, like our schedule of the month. And then we also have a TikTok that's run by me, which is so much fun. I try to be very active on it, even though sometimes it's harder, easier said than done. And also, someone is driving very fast on my road. Okay, so yeah, follow us on TikTok. It's Just One More Page. And we will see you guys next week. Hopefully, you'll hear Sam's beautiful voice and we can do like a full review. Sorry for this chaotic episode. And I'll see you guys next week. Okay, bye.